Okay, so the test for amino acids, for amino acids, remember this, not proteins, is the ninhydrin reaction. Ninhydrin test for amino acids. You have an amino acid, and that which is colorless. Most amino acids are colorless. So you're going to add the ninhydrin, and a positive test for amino acids will give a purple color. Remember, not all the amino acids will give a purple color. Not all. So if you Google it, tell me what it is. I'll put the answer up. I just want you all to get some Google. So yeah, not all will give a purple color. Remember, ninhydrin is the test for amino acids, not proteins. The test for proteins is biuret, or some people say biuret, whichever one is. As long as they spell it correct, and the spelling is B-I-U-R-E-T. And this one is the test for proteins. You'll start off with the biuret test. It'll be a light blue color, and this light blue is as a result of the Cu2 plus copper ions that are in the solution. These copper ions in an alkaline environment will react with the proteins to give you a purple color. So like albumin, which is like found in egg white, if you test that with the biuret test, you will get a purple color. Remember, biuret is for proteins. It's for proteins. Ninhydrin amino acids, biuret proteins. Don't forget that. So we say reaction, and this all gives this, and I'm speaking about proteins and amino acids. But what exactly is a protein? You have amino acids, which are the residues, and those will form the protein. How are you going to form a protein? It's peptide bonds. A peptide bond is when the amino group, remember we did the structure of it. So when the amino group, which is the NH3 group, will bond to the carboxyl group of another to form the peptide bond. A peptide bond basically looks like this. You can Google it if you want a better NH, right? These groups are always inverted. They are always on opposite sides of each other. You never find them on the same side of each other. That's how it was formed. So you're going to have a peptide bond. In a protein, when you have a protein, you always write from your N-terminal. N-terminal means you have your amino group. Remember, amino group is NH3. So you're going to have the N, which is the amino group, on one end, and you're going to have, that's where you start from, and then you're going to end at the C-terminal end, which is the carboxyl group. Alright? So that's basically how you get a peptide bond. Peptide bonds are formed by condensation. You should know a condensation reaction. Condensation reactions are the loss of water. So you're gonna have, a R group here or some group here with a OH, and then it's gonna react with something, the hydrogen and some group. Your condensation reaction will remove this as the loss of water minus water to form this new compound. And usually this is how we get peptide bonds, right? Of course, every reaction is reversible with the right amount of activation energy. So the opposite of condensation is give you time to answer. I hope you said hydrolysis, and you will be most correct. Hydrolysis. And what you can do, is if you have a protein and you hydrolyze that, it will break up the peptide bond to form your amino acid derivatives. So you just add water actually to hydrolyze. Condensation removal, hydrolysis, the addition of water. So a little vocab lesson here. Peptide. What does peptide mean? Peptide just means a short polymer of amino acids. Remember, we know as it's amino acid with the R group, remember, different R groups. That's amino acid. A dipeptide, di is two. So two amino acids will form a dipeptide. Same thing as tripeptide, three amino acids. Polypeptide is a macromolecule. Polypeptide, poly, more than, it's a lot of amino acids that will combine to form a polypeptide. And a protein is a biological macromolecule which weighs like 500 grams per mole. Not sure if I have that correct, but I'll correct that later in blog. So basically that's a protein. Remember, the test for amino acids is ninhydrin, and the test for proteins is various. That's how come we have different tests, because they are completely different. Amino acids could never be a protein. So some functions of proteins: they act as receptors, like they respond to stimuli such as the neurons. They are channels. I'm sure you know about a membrane. The membrane found in animals or plants cells. You'll have protein channels, protein carriers, and these are found in your membrane, and they transport different molecules across the membrane, because biphosphate membrane is a polar substance, so not everything could pass through easily. Hence you have these non-polar carriers that will allow molecules or radicals to flow in. For storage, we use proteins in basically everything. In our skin, our hair, we use it in our liver. Keratin is found in our liver. So protein is amazing thing. It's important. Actually, starvation. If someone is starving, first the person's body will use up its fat, then its carbohydrates, then its proteins. Proteins is most important, is the basis of everything, because enzymes are proteins, etc. So what will happen is that it will break up your proteins, and a confirmation of starvation is when it breaks up your ketosis, and then you can get you tend to sense the ketones in your breath. So that's how you know starvation. Structural functions found in collagen in your skin, and immune responses. Antibodies, just as enzymes, are proteins. They are macromolecules, macrobiological molecules. There are different types of proteins. There are globular, fibrous, and membrane proteins. Globular proteins are more like enzymes, and they are water soluble, spherical in shape. Fibrous proteins are narrow and rod-like. You could find these like in collagen, and they have poor water solubility. Membrane proteins are receptors. They are formed through the membrane. So as I said before, the carriers, you'll have those which are membrane proteins. So that is it for amino acids and proteins. Please follow my blog. I will be making another video speaking about the structure of proteins, because that's a type of long thing, and I will want to explain that. So thank you. Follow the blog, like the post, answer the questions. See you next time.